$1 trillion per year. That is the cost of climate change currently. Although the figure wavers as it depends on who is asking. So let's take a look at this graph to get a clearer picture. This shows the climate finance required annually until 2030. India says the amount should be $1 trillion per year, whereas Pakistan prioritizes the need at $2 trillion per year till 2030. You can see that the Arab group, African group, and even the UNFCCC Needs Determination Report or NDR state the quantum of climate finance between 1 and $1.2 trillion. This is just 1% of the world GDP in 2023. Spending just 1% of the global GDP on developing countries can solve our immediate climate change needs. So, cumulatively speaking, around $5.9 trillion till 2030. This is the estimated cost of climate change. On 12 December 2015, 196 nations signed one of the important treaties that could define humanity's fight against climate change, the Paris Agreement.
Je n'entends pas d'objection. L'accord de Paris pour le climat est accepté.
The Paris Agreement reflected a major change in international climate negotiations, creating a universal country-driven approach to achieve collective climate goals, while also ensuring that countries understood the importance of differential responsibility. Countries thus made national climate pledges to limit the global average temperature well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, and if possible, below 1.5 degrees Celsius. These pledges outlined how they will contribute to reducing greenhouse gas emissions and adapting to impacts. This became popularly known as the Nationally Determined Contributions, or NDCs. NDCs represent short to medium-term targets and typically include measures for both adaptation and mitigation action, and are required to be updated every 5 years with more ambitious targets. But given that developing countries require at least $5.9 trillion by 2030 to fund their NDCs, it's not an ambitious ask, but rather a fair one. Bridging that financial gap and helping developing countries decarbonize and protect themselves from future damage requires developed countries to take accountability and set a new financial target for supporting developing countries in their climate actions. This is where a new collective quantified goal, or NCQG, comes into picture. To understand NCQG, let's go back to 2009, when developed countries made a commitment of jointly mobilizing $100 billion every year by 2020 for climate action in developing countries. In 2015, this deadline was extended to 2025. It was also decided that a new climate finance goal to succeed this one would have to be decided before 2025, amounting to at least $100 billion per year, and taking into account the needs and priorities of developing countries. This is the new collective quantified goal on climate finance, or NCQG. Sadly, the reality is quite the opposite. None of these goals have been met since its announcement. However, the issue is not just about the quantum and failure to meet the $100 billion commitment. There are also issues regarding the quality of finance, where the majority of finance is given as debt, such as through loans, which adds on to the already existing debt crisis among global South countries. Furthermore, developed countries have also not engaged on any of these figures, as they want the contributor base to be expanded before discussing the amount. They are also exploring other options of climate finance, for example, carbon taxes. So for now, the major question remains: are developed countries going to put the money where the mouths are? Or are they going to tiptoe around the findings, the demands, and explore more loopholes to dodge the goal? That is the trillion-dollar question. In the upcoming videos, we'll explore the concept of NCQG further and break down other topics such as CBAM and Article 6. For that, keep watching DT's run-up series for COP29.